Hi guys, things took a bit of a dramatic turn in the Wandering Bird household last week when my husband, Mr. WB, couldn't breathe. He'd been feeling poorly for a few days and just basically collapsed over the Easter weekend and ended up getting ambulanced to hospital. Not only was there an ambulance and the paramedics turned up, but then they couldn't get him off the boat safely, so they needed the Hazardous Response Team. So they came down with about 6 of their trucks and vehicles and whatever else they had. So there was like 7 vehicles to get him off. He had to be lifted off the boat safely, and then they stretchered him up on one of those little rolling stretcher thing. For a guy who doesn't like being in the spotlight, you can imagine how sick he was to allow that to happen. So that was a bit of a traumatic turn on the Easter weekend. And then just to make things extra fun, the paramedics asked us both to do a COVID test. His was negative, which was hilarious given the fact of all the symptoms he had. It was pretty much COVID. Mine, however, was positive, which meant that I couldn't go to the hospital and visit him, which was even worse because he took a really nasty turn the day after. His lungs needed draining, and yeah, he was not in a very good way. That was awful. Really, really scary to live through. And he had about 3 days where he had horrific temperatures. They couldn't get it down. He felt nauseous. His lungs kept filling up with fluid. And he had, well, he's got all sorts of strange things going on. So they reckon he had something called walking pneumonia for a while. We actually thought he had long COVID, but they reckon a lot of his symptoms, the whole breathlessness and not able to walk up a flight of stairs and things, were actually down to walking pneumonia. He then, we think, picked up Legionnaire's disease when he was last in France. Now, again, learnt a lot about Legionnaire's disease, and it's something that motorhomers are actually quite susceptible to. If you leave your tank, water tank empty or full, and you use the shower and stuff, so make sure you really clean out your tanks. I hadn't realised how lethal this thing was, and that apparently kicked off the pneumonia that was already there in his lungs, not helped by him flying back from France. And then the whole thing turned into severe pneumonia, which are now called something called COPD, which again I hadn't really heard of, but is pretty nasty. Really nasty. So bless him, he's still got shadows on his lungs from the pneumonia. We still don't know if and when he's allowed to fly or to travel. It's not been a particularly fun week, I'll be honest. He is now out of hospital and he is he's doing okay-ish. He's still pretty weak, but he is getting out and about and doing things. The doctor was really adamant that he shouldn't just sit at home and not do stuff. So he is doing a little, but he's doing it a lot slower, and it's driving him insane. What would normally take him 5-10 minutes is taking him an hour, and then he's exhausted and needs to sit down afterwards. Oh, let me just move that because apparently I've got a shadow on my chin. There we go. Yeah, we're trying to be sensible and trying to remember that it is very much a long recovery road. So that has been our events of the past week, frankly. I'm no longer positive, I'm pleased to say. That literally lasted 2 days and I felt a bit meh, but I didn't, nowhere near as bad as I was over Christmas. So thankfully, that was, I don't know what was going on with the test, but yeah, no, it just, oh, you should have seen my face when it turned positive. I was like, oh, you are kidding me. Obviously I couldn't then go into hospital. So it's been dramatic, let me just say. So I wanted to say a massive, massive thank you. Firstly to all the NHS staff and the Hazardous Response Team and everybody who has had a part in taking care of him, because it's just, it was awful and the staff made it so much easier. But also thank you to every single person who sent an email, has sent a message on social media, who has sent their love at the Peterborough show. My friends said that, a lot of people asked after me. So thank you so, so much. It's been really, really appreciated. It has, it's not been an easy time at all. And it's lovely to know how many of you care about him, because although he's never in the videos and his choice and he doesn't want to be seen, he is very, very much a part of this whole Wandering Bird thing. And it's been really tough, I'll be honest. It's been really, really tough. So I just wanted to say a very, very quick thank you to all of you. And we're still here, we're still going. We just don't quite know what we're doing next, but we're going to figure that out as we go along. and we've still got lots of things to share with you all, and we're going to be up and hopefully doing things. We're still hoping to do some of the trips that we've got planned this year, but until we know where his better is and where his normal is, we don't know exactly when or what it's going to look like. But I just wanted to make a very quick video and say thank you. So thank you, and we will see you as soon as we can. Look after yourself.